Let's take a look at the Mid-Pac Petroleum leaderboard. The bazooka is busy again tonight here at the Stan Sheriff Center. Mid-Pac Petroleum leaderboard, Illinois, the Fighting Illini. They are ranked #1. And then Nebraska, Iowa State, Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, Northern Iowa, Florida State, and Hawaii.
Remember, these are the RPI. These are the RPI ratings. Yeah.
That means the kind of schedule that you have played and have been successful at. Hawaii with very difficult tournaments at the start of this year. And so they are very high. They are ranked 7th in the country. As they finish off the WAC season, they are destined to drop in the RPO.
Absolutely, but they got to hope the teams that they've beaten in the preseason, like Arizona, Long Beach State, Pepperdine, if they win in their leagues, which they are doing right now, their RPI will offset the loss of the WAC numbers.
Arizona fresh from an upset over UCLA.
That was a big win for Arizona. Let's take a look at you see the aces and errors. Arizona getting Notre Dame getting killed by 6 service errors. Hartong hitting from the right has been almost unstoppable. She leads all players on the floor with 4 kills, no errors in 7 tries.
Step out, that ball pushed over by Hauser, but it does not succeed, and Hawaii leads it 1-0. Serving for Hawaii will be Croson. The ball dug up by Deely, chased down by Brindock, hit over by McHugh. Blake, they work it to Danielson. Brindock to McHugh. Into the back row, could have been an out ball, but Croson went for it. It showed up in a hurry. So she reacted to it with one hand.
I think she thought it might have been a touch in the block, so she was going to go for it no matter what.
Could be. Tied at 1 in the second set. Hawaii winning the first set 25-18. Croson, Uiato, Danielson. Danielson able to get that ball between Sam Brown and also Jenny Hauser. So Hawaii leads 2-1 in the second set.
Give credit to Uiato there for giving Kanani that split block.
Hewitt serving. Brindock. Deely gets it across, advantage Hawaii. Uiato step out. Adolfo. That ball goes off McHugh, but it's chased down by Silva. McHugh gets it across. Hawaii with the advantage again. Adolfo hitting that ball by Sam Brown in the front row for Notre Dame.
I'm really impressed with the way Adolfo was adjusting that middle attack position. She runs the what they call the wide C that's set all the way out to the antenna, hits it over Notre Dame's block, and then it comes in the tight C and hits it inside.
The ball hit over twice by Deely. It's returned. Danielson, Silva shanks it, and that ball is saved by Hauser. Good play by Notre Dame. Crowd applauds, but there's Danielson squeezing it through the double block. Hawaii leading 4-1. The Irish showing that they are very quick.
They're spunky and pesky, and that's a big reason why Hawaii only hit 0-9-1 in the first game. Not a very good percentage. That was great defense by Notre Dame.
Dug up by Hewitt, hit over by Croson. Croson really slammed that ball. Went down in front of McHugh. Hawaii leading 5-1 in the second set.
Croson hitting the pipe set out of the back row. No block. Actually, 2 blockers were up, but they were very far apart from each other there.
Hewitt serving again, diving dig. Brindock pushing it over is Hauser. Back set. Ooh, what a hit by Adolfo.
Adolfo starting to warm up now. Takes the big run to the outside. Remember, she's a basketball player by nature. She takes off on one leg very comfortably, like it was a layup.
Hewitt serving again. Brindock goes out to Hauser. That's blocked by Danielson and Adolfo, but it went out. So that's a point for Notre Dame. Frenchie Silva, the Californian.
She's really been good, in my opinion. She's been a great defender. She leads everybody on the floor with digs right now with about 7.
Croson, a ball dug up by McHugh in the back row. Put over by Hauser. Hawaii with it now. Here's Danielson, and that ball blocked by Hauser.
Great solo block by Hauser. He really had nowhere to go, but right into Hauser's hands then.
Uiato sets up Danielson off the block. Hauser was there, along with Alubwe.
Stop Kanani once, but rarely will you stop her twice, and certainly Uiato gave her a chance to make up for that block solo.
Hawaii leading 7-3. Serving is Uiato. Brindock goes to Alubwe. Hawaii with it. And that time, Hartung is blocked.
She's human. First error tonight.
Healy and Hauser up on that block. Good double block by the Irish. Hawaii leading by 3.
Well, the Irish really blocking well. Out blocking Hawaii 6-2 right now.
Sammy Brown into the game, number 16, serving for Notre Dame. Danielson, Uiato, step out Adolfo. There's McHugh. Ball hit over by Alubwe. And Alubwe getting it into that deep corner for the point. And Notre Dame has come back, and they trail now by only 2. Sammy Brown again serving for the Irish. Blake, Uiato, Danielson. Danielson hit that ball so hard, it hit Alubwe and then went straight down.
And bounced all the way over to our table. This is hit with a lot of authority right there.
Hawaii leading by 3. Serving is Danielson. Ball hit over that time by Epping, and the goal goes in, and that will be a point for Notre Dame.
We're seeing some great libero play tonight. Here's a cover by Silva. Frenchie Silva pops it up. She's that other senior on this Irish squad. And the cover ends up in a kill.
Serving is Dealey. Hartung off that double block in the front row. And it had some touches also in the back row. Hawaii up by 3, 9-6. Second set. Hawaii leading 1-0 in this match.
Hartung with her 5th kill. Danielson with 6.
Timeouts. And they will wipe up the moisture.
Pretty good crowd for a Monday night, wouldn't you say, Mr. Leahy?
Yes, I would.
Maybe 3,000 or 4,000?
Around there, I would say that, yes.
Boy, of course, leading the country in attendance with over 6,000.
Almost 7. Outside it goes to McHugh, dug up there by Danielson. Croson gets it across. Ball hit over by Sammy, Epic that time. Diving dig by Silva. Ball hit over by Dealey. Rally continues. That ball is hit over by Hewitt. Took something off and it died right in front of Dealey.
Uiato really making it a point to get the middles involved in this game. Adolfo getting a lot of sets. Hewitt now getting sets when it's her turn in the front row.
Blake serving, 10 serving, 6. Step out. And that ball is in by Epic. Epic, 6'2" junior. And she can rip it.
Long reach too. You know, she's standing there, she touches 7, 11, almost 8 feet. It's only a 7'4" net. She doesn't even need to jump.
Alubwe serving, and that is why. Hartung will serve for Hawaii. Hawaii leading 11-7. McHugh hits it off the double block. And that's a point for Notre Dame. Serving for Notre Dame will be Maggie Brindock. Blake chased down by Uiato. Blake gets it across. Advantage now Notre Dame. Brindog. Hauser. Blocked back by Croson. Down the middle comes Deely. Deely hits it out.
Good eye by Hartong. She watched that all the way down to the floor. She was standing with her right foot on the line and knew exactly where the ball was. Great court awareness by Emily Hartong.
There's Croson with the big toss. Gets it in. Brindog. Miss hit. Hawaii now leading by 5 in the second set, and serving again will be Croson.
Don't see this very often when the ball goes right through the setter's hands. But once in a while, their hands are a little bit wet. That causes that.
Brindog, step out, Hauser. Saved by Silva. McHugh blocked back. Great diving dig by Deely. McHugh hits it over. Hawaii with the advantage. That's a diving dig again. Danielson missed the first time. Deely saved it, but not the second time. Came back up to her, and she knew exactly what to do with it.
There's a little roll shot by Danielson, and then the tap down on the overpass. I mean, leading all attackers right now with 7 kills.
Croson continues the big toss. Dug up by Silva, chased down by Brindog. And that's a double hit. Brindog having a little trouble here. 15-8. Television timeout from the Stan Sheriff Center. Hawaii up. Welcome back, everybody. Jack in the Box. The Jack Fact. Volleyball Junkies tonight. Hawaii begins a stretch of 7 matches in 15 days. The Rainbows will play 4 at home this week before heading out on the road to Fresno State, Nevada, and San Jose State. Croson will continue to serve. Hawaii has built a comfortable lead again, 15-8 in the second set. Hawaii winning the first set 25-18. Serving is Croson. Gets it over, dug up by Silva. Brindog. McHugh. Dug up by Hartung. Overpass. And McHugh able to know exactly what to do with that ball. Point for Notre Dame. 15-9. Hawaii leading here in the second set. Serving will be McHugh. Andrea McHugh. Dug up by Blake. Uiato. Hewitt gets it across there. Silva. Ball is pushed by Deely. Trying for the pancake dig, but late is Danielson. And it's 15-10.
Great bump set that time by Silva, the libero. Remember, when the libero's inside the 3-meter line, they can't use their hands. They've got to bump it up.
Danielson. Silva is there to dig it up. Notre Dame gets it across. Ball hit over and long that time by Hewitt.
One thing Notre Dame is doing well tonight is playing defense. The block has been terrific. Look at the defense, 2 players on the floor. That's how they're staying with this Hawaii team.
Hawaii now starting to give away this lead, and they call a timeout. 15-12. Let's go inside the numbers presented by HMSA. 42, the average RPI of Hawaii's 11 non-conference match opponents this season. Notre Dame comes in tonight 64th, I believe.
54.
54.
Yeah. And there are 327 Division I teams altogether. So Hawaii's RPI is very good. I'll tell you that, of 7.
Notre Dame continues their comeback. That ball pushed over by Deely. Deely is the 8th player in Notre Dame history to have both 1,000 kills and 1,000 kicks.
So Dave showed you bringing in a little passing and defense with Emily Maeda coming in for Hartong.
McHugh serves. Maeda, Uiato. That ball is hit wide again, and Hawaii really off kilter now. And their 7-point lead has dwindled 6-1. That's a 6-point run by Notre Dame. Serving is McHugh. Brindle. Hauser is blocked back by Danielson. Dealey dug up by Croson. Backhanded by Hewitt. Ball pushed into the back row by Hauser. Ball hit over by Blake. Brindle goes outside. Little touch on the outside, but out. That ball went out by Dealey.
Oh, Notre Dame had a great chance to score there. This ball does not go very far out. Just misses the line.
Hewitt gets it in. Silva. Brindle. Healy. And Dealey is blocked by Adolfo. That's a solo block by Adolfo. And Hawaii out by 3 points. A little breathing room. 17-14. Serving is Hewitt. That got by McHugh. Brindle. Hauser. That goes off Adolfo and out. Point for Notre Dame. So Hawaii was leading by 7 in this second set. That's a comfortable lead. And all of a sudden that disappears down to 1.
Good swing by Hauser. A year ago she was Miss Volleyball in Kentucky.
Danielson did not hit that hard. Goes to Dealey. There's Blake. Adolfo. And that just runs out of angle. So Danielson could not hit that. And it's 17-16. Notre Dame back to a 1-point deficit. And the Fighting Irish are doing just that. Serving to Silva. Soft serve to Blake. Uiato. Danielson, that's blocked out. Danielson just went to her power. And she pounded it off the block that time.
Great pass by Lizzie Blake to set the whole thing up. She got the ball up to the net where Adolfo could run behind the setter and leave things wide open for Kanani Danielson on the outside.
Uiato to serve again. 18-16. In the air by McHugh, comes over by us. Saved by Brindle. The ball is hit over by McHugh, then blocked back by Danielson. The ball goes over by Alubwe, and Alubwe is right there with the double block along with Hauser to record the point. 18-17, Notre Dame is not going away.
Not the best choice by Croson that time. The set was not very good. It was drifting too close to the net. She didn't have a good takeoff. She would have been better off just tipping the ball over the block rather than taking a big swing at it.
Sammy Brown serving for Notre Dame. Croson, miss hit. Blake late in responding, and we are tied at 18. Satelli will come into the game, and she replaces Harton. Adolfo in the front row along with Satelli. Croson, Uiato, step out Danielson, and that's blocked by Dealey, and Notre Dame leads 19-18.
Well, they were waiting for Kanani on that one. I have a feeling they scouted that play. 2 blockers out.
Sammy Brown to serve again for the Irish. Blake, Uiato, Satelli off the block.
Satelli may be just what the doctor ordered. A different player with a different kind of a swing, different approach.
Danielson gets it in there. Silva. That ball hit over that time by Epping, and it gets down. 20-19 Notre Dame. Second set.
Nice tip shot. Adolfo just could not control it.
Dealey serving. Dug up by Blake, chased down by Uiato. She had to come a long way. Croson pounds it off the block. Notre Dame with the advantage. Epping is back. Ball hit over by Alubwe. Here's Danielson behind the 3-meter line. Dealey outside to McHugh off the block. Point Notre Dame. They lead 21-19. Now Notre Dame leads by 2. And Notre Dame simply outplaying the Rainbow Wahine right now.
They're playing very well out. Remember, these two teams both played Cincinnati, their only common opponent. And even though Notre Dame lost to Cincinnati, they outplayed them in every way last weekend.
Satelli again. This time she whizzes the ball by McHugh and Alubwe. Boy, Hawaii trails by 1. 21 for Notre Dame, 20 for Hawaii. Serving is Blake. Back up by Dealey. Epping. Hawaii, Blake. Works it to the corner to Hartung. Advantage Notre Dame. They will go to Dealey, but she hits it into the net. So a little uncertainty by the Irish that time. And Notre Dame will call a timeout. Hawaii has come back to tie it at 21 in the second set. Hawaii easily winning the first set, 25-18. Need tickets to an upcoming UH contest? Visit HawaiiAthletics.com or call 944-BOWS. Or you can visit the Stan Sheriff box office. We resume, tied at 21. Silva gets it across. Hawaii with the free ball. That ball hit over, and then up it goes by Dealey. Hit over by McHugh. Danielson on the back row to Croson. Hawaii was too quick that time for the defense for Notre Dame.
Jane Croson was way overdue to come out of her slump. Her third kill, but she's got 4 errors. She's still hitting negative.
22-21, Notre Dame. Ball put over by Epic. Back it comes by Blake, and that surprises everybody.
Yeah.
That just falls to the court.
Putting Lizzie Blake, now that was not a good play by Lizzie. She gets the kill and looks like the hero, but I'm telling you something. She has got to keep this ball on her own side of the net and not bump it over to the other team. Notre Dame should have had a free ball there and did not take advantage. Debbie Brown, their coach, very frustrated, calls another and her final timeout.
More to come from the Stan Sheriff Center. Hawaii up by 2, second set.
Tell you one area in which Notre Dame has really played well, doubling up on Hawaii at the net in blocking. There you see Hauser really doing a great job. There's a 2-person block over on the right side. 7 blocks to 3 for Notre Dame.
Hawaii lead 23-21, second set. Epping gets it over near the net. Uiato, not a good pass from the back that time by Danielson.
Yeah, rare error from Danielson. Usually she's really good at controlling the ball. It's one of her strong points of her game, in my opinion. She puts it right on the money. This time just a little bit too tight. Uiato could not handle it.
Satele comes in for Hartung. Coming in for Notre Dame is Kathleen Severin. She played briefly in the first set. She comes in for Lubwood. Hawaii leading by 1, 23-22. Severin from Naperville, Illinois. Serving for Notre Dame. Blake, Uiato. Croson.
What started that whole playoff was Lizzie Blake passing the ball right up to the net where Uiato could run her offense and hold the block. One-on-one on the outside for Croson. The hitter should win that battle 90% of the time.
Satele goes out. Hartung comes back in to serve. Aloha ball, second set. Hawaii leading 24-22. Serving is Hartung. Just over the net. That's dug up outside to McHugh. Danielson, diving dig Uiato, double-handed over by Croson. Hawaii's McHugh gets it over. Hartung, Uiato, Blake bumped it. Ball put down easily that time by Epping. 24-23.
I'm not sure where Croson was that time on the outside. She might have audibilized an inside set that time. I'm not sure, but Dave Shoji was upset that the communication was not clean between Uiato and Croson.
Brindock serving. Danielson, Hawaii needs this. Croson, yes! Hawaii wins the second set, 25-23. Notre Dame plays well. They play competitive. But the Irish come up short, and Hawaii is thinking sweep.